Hello! On today's episode of NaeemMahmood.com, we're going to talk about submodalities. So in a previous post, I talked to you about your modalities, right? How we actually process our experience of the world. We see things visually, we hear things with our ears, we feel things kinesthetically, we can also taste and smell as well. And we also have another modality called digital, which is kind of our logical mindset and how we process information logically. For the most part, most people use visual, auditory, and kinesthetic to process their information and their experiences of the world. So the thing about submodalities is they're kind of like the next level below. They're in the detail, they're the fine-grained, more finer distinctions of what's going on in your experience. The thing that's so crucial about them, important about them, is that it's all about the details. You ever hear that, baby? I know you have. And this is why. Because if you basically shift a minor submodality that you're not even aware of sometimes, visually, right? So say, for example, you are terrified of speaking in front of a room of people. Haven't heard that one before, right? So anyway, so just if you actually go into your internal representation of what that is for you, just when I've worked with clients before, it's amazing. It's basically them in front of the room, and perhaps for this particular client that I'm thinking of, there is just all these people just bigger than them, and they're kind of laughing and smirking at them. When in reality, in real life, they're just sitting there and actually interested in what that person is saying on stage. Go figure, right? So all you gotta do is go into your internal representation and tweak that, right? So all I did with my client was I said, okay, all we're gonna do is we're gonna shrink these people down to size to where they are. Or how about this? How about let's have some fun with it? Let's make them small, tiny little babies. And while we're at it, we might as well make them colorful, just to make it a little more enjoyable. And then he started smiling a bit and made it a lot lighter of a situation for him. And then on top of that, we turned those kind of, I guess, what he thought was a sinister or smirking smile where they were making fun of him, into kind of a look of just enormous interest in what he was saying. And that I could tell right away in his physiology. He just felt so much better about himself, and I can see it in his body. He all of a sudden relaxed, and everything changed in an instant for him. And that was by shifting two minor submodalities in the visual modality, right? That's an example of submodalities. Again, there's auditory. Auditory submodalities could be the tone of somebody's voice like this, or I could talk in a smaller tone like this. Or there's also the volume of how you're talking, and it can go really low and quiet, or it can be kind of medium as well. Another auditory submodality can be the pitch of how you're talking to somebody, or it can be really deep, like an opera singer. And then to go into kinesthetic, there's obviously maybe the temperature, or there is kind of the smoothness or the roughness of something. There is a bunch of things. I can't think of one off the top of my head right now, which is kind of embarrassing, but needless to say, there's a bunch. You look them up and you can play with them, right? So once you kind of figure out a situation you want to perform better at, you go into your internal representation, which I taught you before. You go in there, you figure out what submodalities are working and not working for you, and then you do your little magic inside your head, boom, and it changes the entire world for you. One tiny distinction can make all the difference, okay? So go ahead, play with this. I'll give you more information later on our next post. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comment section above, and I will see you guys later. Bye.